dharmic religions are very, very interconnected, and they're not at all separated in the way, say, the Abrahamic religions are separated from each other and jealous of each other. And because many of these debates have, from colonial times, and deliberately become divisive, and we have ended up defining ourselves the way the colonial rulers defined us. But the best way is to look at this as practiced in countries that were not colonized. And this is very interesting. So you go to, for example, Thailand. In Thailand, every street corner has a shrine to Brahma. And yet the Thais are Buddhists. But nobody thinks of their worshipping Brahma as being somehow separate from their Buddhism. In fact, to this day, when the king of Thailand is crowned, as just happened, the crowning is to this day done by Brahmins from Gorakhpur. So this is, and it's an entirely Hindu ceremony. Similarly, you go to Japan. Okay, we obviously know about the influence of Buddhism on Japan. People don't realize that there's just as much influence of Hinduism in Japan. There are many Saraswati temples in Japan. There are many Ganesh temples in Japan, which and you will find Vedic homes being done in Buddhist temples and in Shinto temples as well. So there is an enormous amount of connections that remain. After all, the world's largest Hindu temple is not in India but in Cambodia. But if you go there, it was later on converted into a Buddhist temple. So, but when it was converted into a Buddhist temple, Angkor, it's quite interesting what they did. So it was originally a Vishnu temple. At some point, much later on, it became a Buddhist temple. But they didn't take out the Vishnu and throw it away. They took the Vishnu and just took it and put it right in the front of where you enter the Angkor. The shrine to Vishnu is still there. The original main deity is still there. And in fact, in order to enter the main shrine to worship Buddha, you have to first pray at the shrine of Vishnu. The same thing is true if you go to Sri Lanka, where if you go to their most important shrine, which is the Temple of the Tooth in Kandy, you have to first pass through a whole bunch of Hindu temples to reach that shrine. So this is very, very heavily interconnected religions. You cannot separate these religions in any meaningful way. And this idea that you can separate them is in fact not a part of our tradition. It is the part of the Saptasindhu idea, that the various flows of the rivers flowing along, merging with each other. So this is an important thing, and I am myself a practicing Shakta Hindu. Okay, so I worship the Shaktis. So for me, the nearest sort of religious experience which is close to my own beliefs is actually Tibetan Buddhism, where they clearly worship Ma Tara and Mahakal and so on, which is actually fundamentally different from, say, Vaishnavism of Gujarat. My nearest link is actually what would in the Abrahamic tradition be considered a separate religion.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.